Bainfor sat quietly in his living room, staring at a picture on the wall. It was a photo of his wife, Melody, smiling happily in the arms of another man. His heart ached, but before he could ask her about it, Melody suddenly walked in. She looked startled to find him in the living room. "Hide quickly," she whispered nervously. "My friends are here. They can't know I'm married to a short and ugly man." Bainfor refused. But Melody, afraid of embarrassment, threatened to leave him if he didn't obey. She grabbed him by the arm, pushed him into their bedroom, and locked the door. Inside, Bainfor sat in disbelief, tears filling his eyes. Moments later, his sister Ajaruka called from the village. She told him she had a strange dream that his wife would harm him and she was coming to stay with them. Downstairs, Melody's friends admired the house. "Wow, you're so lucky," one said. "Your husband must be rich and handsome." Melody smiled proudly. "Oh yes, he's tall, good-looking, and works in Canada. I'll be visiting him soon." But then a strange noise came from upstairs. It was Bainfor struggling to breathe. Melody panicked and lied, "It's just my cousin. I locked him up for being disrespectful." One of her friends noticed an inhaler on the table and asked if Melody was asthmatic. Melody lied again, saying it belonged to a friend. All this time, Bainfor tried calling her, but she ignored his calls. When the guests finally left, Melody ran upstairs only to find her husband collapsed on the floor. She screamed for help. Kola, the gatekeeper, rushed in and helped carry Bainfor to the hospital. The doctor was furious. "Madam, how could you let this happen? I told you never to let his inhaler leave his sight." Bainfor, weak but kind, defended her. "Doctor, please don't scold my wife." Melody pretended to cry and apologized, promising never to hurt him again. Days later, Bainfor tried to be intimate with Melody. But when he woke her up, she sneered, "Put on your mask. I can't make love while looking at your ugly face." He obeyed, embarrassed. But just as he was ready, Melody complained of hunger. "I can't have sex on an empty stomach. Go make me something to eat." Wrapped in only a towel, Bainfor went to the kitchen to cook noodles. Just then, Ajaruka arrived, shocked to see her brother cooking half-naked for his wife. She looked around and saw the picture of Melody with another man. "How can you allow this insult in your own house?" Before Bainfor could respond, Melody stormed in. "Ajaruka, get out of my house." The argument turned into a fight. In anger, Ajaruka tore down the photo. Melody retaliated by burning Ajaruka's clothes. They fought until Kola separated them. Later, Melody packed her things to leave. Bainfor begged her to stay. She gave him an ultimatum: "Send your sister back to the village, or I'm gone. My friends can't know I married someone short and ugly." Bainfor begged her, promising to do whatever she wanted. The next day, when Ajaruka returned from the market, Kola told her that Melody had ordered him not to let her in. So, Kola and Ajaruka came up with a plan. She pretended to attack him with a stone so she could sneak inside. Their act fooled Melody, who screamed and ran for safety. Bainfor called both women to make peace. But instead of peace, Melody declared that she and her husband had agreed Ajaruka would return to the village in the morning. Ajaruka refused. "I will not leave until I know my brother is safe." That night, Bainfor went to his wife again. "I've put on the mask," he said softly, "can we be together now?" Melody turned away coldly. "No. Until your sister leaves, don't touch me." Later that night, Ajaruka walked into the kitchen and caught her brother, satisfying himself. Shocked, she asked, "Doesn't your wife sleep with you?" He confessed, "Only once a month," and tonight she refused. Ajaruka stormed into Melody's room, waking her up and forcing her to let her husband have his rights. But Bainfor admitted he had already relieved himself in the kitchen. The awkward night ended with Ajaruka deciding to return to the village. Before leaving, however, she secretly hired a prostitute for her brother. "If your wife won't satisfy you, someone else will," she said boldly. But Melody came home unexpectedly and caught them. Chaos erupted. Melody and Ajaruka fought again while Bainfor ran upstairs to hide in shame. Days later, Melody planned to go to church. Ajaruka mocked her hypocrisy, saying she couldn't hide her husband forever. Melody reminded her that she and Mbainfor had agreed to keep their marriage private to avoid embarrassment. Later that day, Melody overheard Ajaruka telling Kola she was going to the market. Jealous and angry, Melody called some men and arranged for her to be kidnapped. Ajaruka was abducted and dropped in another city. For 2 days, she was missing until she appeared on TV begging for help. Melody saw the news but hid it from her husband, telling him that Ajaruka had called to say she was fine. Kola later told Mbainfor the truth. Furious, he went and brought his sister back home. From that day, Ajaruka plotted revenge. She hired a man to spray Melody with an itching chemical outside a supermarket. Melody ran home scratching her entire body while Ajaruka laughed loudly. Days later, Melody apologized, saying she wanted peace. She even offered her wine, but Ajaruka refused to drink unless Melody drank first. Melody declined, proving her guilt. On her birthday, Mbainfor bought Melody a car, promising to make her happy. But she refused to go out with him, saying she couldn't be seen with a short man. Unknown to Mbainfor, she held another secret party pretending another man was her husband from Canada. Ajaruka followed her and exposed everything in front of her friends, even showing wedding photos. Melody denied it, claiming the photos were AI. But Kola confirmed the truth. Humiliated, Melody ran away in tears. Days later, she decided to leave the marriage. As she packed her things, she suddenly collapsed. Despite Ajaruka's anger, Mbainfor rushed her to the hospital. She was diagnosed with kidney failure. Out of love, Mbainfor volunteered to donate one of his kidneys. When Melody heard this, she wept bitterly, realizing how much he truly loved her. The tests showed they were a perfect match, but just before the surgery, the doctor announced that her kidneys had started to recover. Melody fell to her knees, thanking Mbainfor and apologizing to both him and Ajaruka. Weeks later, peace finally returned. Melody and Ajaruka became close, and before Ajaruka left for the village, Melody revealed that she was pregnant. The story ends with Ajaruka smiling,